Hello everyone and welcome to the channel, and finally Android 15 is here and I have it installed on my Pixel 9 Pro XL to show you each and every new change. So without further ado, let's jump in. Before starting, let me highlight one important thing. I have seen a video about Android 15 showcasing the new features, but unfortunately a lot of them don't exist in this build. I think they are using an old footage from the QPR1 beta versions, and these features are expected to come in December later this year. But in this video, I will show you the real deal, so let's jump into it. First things first, if you like any of the wallpapers I used in this video, you will find the Wallpapers by In-Depth Tech Reviews app download link in the description, which will take you to Google Play Store. And now let's jump into the features. On the left, I have Android 14 on the Pixel 6 Pro, and on the right, I have Android 15 on the Pixel 9 Pro XL. And the first thing to talk about is the lock screen. There are minor differences between the two that are located in the unlocking keypad. You notice here that the word enter your PIN is now called enter PIN with a bigger font, and here you have the empty slots for your PIN code, while here it doesn't show them. So that's it when it comes to the lock screen. Now let's talk about the home screen. And if you have any suggested apps in your dock, now when you tap and hold to open the app shortcuts menu, we got one more option here called Do Not Suggest App, which wasn't the case before. And that also means that you will no longer see the Do Not Suggest App drop target at the top like before, but all you get here is the cancel option. When you try to change your folder name, now you will see a bigger gap between the keyboard and the folder container. And the same applies to the first row of suggested apps in your app drawer. So for example, when I tap and hold on both, I have the same Do Not Suggest App option, and also there is no drop target to stop suggesting this app as well. Under the home settings, you will see one more option under the app list settings called Show Long App Names, which will display the long app names in two lines in the search results and app list. But it seems like this feature is broken because all the apps with long names are showing in a single line like Android 14. I tried to restart the phone, but the issue is not resolved. Moving to the recent apps screen, that's where things become a bit more interesting. Here I have two apps in split screen view, and when I expand the menu on both, on Android 15 I have the Save App Pair option, which will add a shortcut for these two apps on my home screen. So at any point of time, tapping on this shortcut will open the same exact apps for me with the same exact order. And later you can remove this shortcut from your home screen like any other app. Moving to the Widgets Picker, you will see some differences. The first one is in the suggestions section. Now on Android 15, we have multiple pages. The first one is called Essentials. Then we have Suggested for You and Social. And instead of having only one page with one or two widgets max. And the second change, when you tap on any of the widgets, you will see this new Add button, which will automatically add the widget for you. And instead of tapping and holding on it to drag it to your home screen like before, and this one will automatically move to the first empty spot on your home screen. And the same applies to the Widgets Picker from the app shortcuts menu. You will see the same add button here as well. Google also did some housekeeping to the Widgets Picker. So for example, when you expand the clock, you will no longer see each one in a separate line, which requires a lot of scrolling, but now everything is consolidated in a better way, which makes it easier to see everything in one go. And lastly, the weather section is now called Pixel Weather in Android 15. So that's it when it comes to the home screen. Now let's talk about the Wallpaper and Style app. The first change is under the home screen tab. When you scroll all the way down, you will see this brand new menu item called Color Contrast. From here, you can choose between default, medium, and high, with the ability to see the difference in this preview box. And when you scroll down more, you will see high contrast text toggle. When you turn on the switch, you will see that the text now looks different. Those two features are not new to Android. We have them already in Android 14, but in different places. The contrast was under the developer options, and this is how it looks when you tap on it. And the high contrast text was located under the accessibility features. It's called high contrast text, which does the same exact thing. Back to the wallpaper and the style app. Now when you try to change your wallpaper, you will see totally different screens. On Android 14, it will take you right away to a full screen view, while on Android 15, you will see both screens floating over a white background. And when you tap on any of them, that's when it will take you to the full screen view where you can reposition and adjust your wallpaper. And once done, you can tap on the tick button. While here on Android 14, you can start adjusting your wallpaper immediately and your changes will get applied automatically to both screens. Here we have the cinematic and info buttons at the top right corner. On Android 15, it's at the bottom. And when you tap on the set wallpaper, you will see a redesigned overlay card. Here it will give you a quick preview for both screens where you can choose one or two and then tap on the set button. On Android 14, you will get all the options stacked on top of each other. Moving to the quick settings and notifications shade, and the first change is under the Bluetooth. Here you will find the done button is now more rounded to match the overall design language instead of having this odd design like before. The second change is in the brightness slider. On Android 15, you will see a shaded dot exactly in the center, which wasn't the case before. Change number 3 is related to the screen casting. So for example, when I cast my screen to my Chromecast with Google TV like this, and then I choose entire screen, then start casting, you'll notice here that my notifications will automatically collapse without showing any content, even though my phone is already unlocked. And even when I send a message to myself, the banners appear at the top will be collapsed and hide any content. The only way to see your content is by tapping on it yourself, and then it will take you to the relevant app. But as you see, it doesn't show automatically. You can turn off this feature under the developer options. You will find a toggle called Disable Screen Share Protections. Once you turn on the switch, it will show your notifications normally. Google also added a new hearing devices style that you can add to your collection, which wasn't the case before. Moving to the notification banners, now you will see a new animation with Android 15. So let me try to send myself a message to show you the difference between the two. On Android 15, it's more bouncy and it has a different animation when it shows and hides. And you can see the difference between the two. And here's one more time to take a closer look. You will also notice here that the banner itself is also smaller on Android 15. Now let me show you a massive number of random tweaks here and there, and the first one is related to the screenshot animation. You will notice here this glowing effect around the screenshot. The buttons are now circular instead of rounded squares, and also the screenshot itself shows over the buttons instead of showing next to them like before. And the same applies to the clipboard overlay, and here's how they look. The volume controls also got a massive update. You will see here a taller slider, and when you drag your finger over it, you will get a haptic feedback that becomes stronger the more you increase the volume. And when you push it all the way to the edge, you will get a feedback as if you are hitting something at the end of the range, which didn't exist before. And you will see a complete overhaul for the sound and vibration card. The first change, it's no longer showing a title, but instead you will get the media output switcher. Here you have much thicker sliders to adjust the media, call, ring, volume, notifications, and alarm. Then you have the live caption button. Instead of showing in the normal slider like before, now you have a separate button over here that you can toggle on or off. And overall, it has much better design than before. On top of this, you can mute or unmute any of these options by tapping on the icon. And when you tap on it again to unmute, it will return back to the exact same level. So when I mute the media, put it back on, it will return to the same level like this, which is a really neat feature. Also, you will see a dot at the end of each slider that represents the maximum volume. And they also got this really cool animation when you drag your finger over them. And when you connect your Pixel Buds or Pixel Buds Pro, you will see some options here showing in the sound and vibration card. From here, you can activate or deactivate the spatial audio. You have off, fixed, or head tracking, in addition to the ability to toggle the noise control. But I have to wear the headphones to show you how it looks. So now the noise cancellation is active, and by tapping on this button, I can toggle between normal mode, transparency mode, or activate the noise cancellation. And if you are playing media and then access your volume controls, they will show up collapsed like in this case, and you can tap on this button to expand or collapse. But if you are not playing media and then access the sound and vibration card, it will not show you this collapse button and take you right away to the full set of sliders. The circle to search haptic feedback also got updated, and when you tap and hold on your home bar, it will give you a very subtle haptic feedback instead of the long one like before. The accessibility shortcuts also got this brand new edit drop target that will allow you to jump to the edit menu. From here you can adjust the shortcuts or jump to the more options. The toast notifications also got updated. Now they have bigger font, so let me dismiss the button on both. As you see, it's now much bigger with Android 15. The biometric authentication card also got updated. Now you can see the app icon. It has more rounded corners and the card stretches to the very end of the screen. And when you connect your phone to the PC and then try to change anything under the USB preferences menu, you will need to do a biometric authentication for the phone to accept that change. And when you activate the webcam mode and then access the webcam settings, now you will see a new high quality toggle that will enhance your overall webcam quality. And I tested this myself and there is a day and night difference, but keep in mind that this one will consume more battery and make your device hotter. Google also updated the system icon and now it represents Android 15. Now let's go through every new change under settings, and I will start with the network and the internet and then internet. And when you scroll all the way down and then access network preferences, you will see a new toggle over here called Allow WEP Networks. And it says here that WEP is an older security protocol that's less secure, but if you still want to use it, you can turn on the switch. And when you go to your Wi-Fi settings by tapping the gear icon and then go to privacy, you will see here, instead of getting an overlay card, now you have a separate page with one more option called Send Device Name. And this one will allow you to turn off the device name feature if you want to. And when you tap on the gear icon next to your mobile network, you will see 3 new fields, one for the mobile network name, one for the phone number, and when you scroll down, you will see the IMEI number as well. And when you go to SIMs under network and the internet, you will see your mobile number one more time. You have a toggle to turn off the SIM card, and here you have the mobile data to turn on or off. Under connected devices and then connection preferences and then Bluetooth, now we have a new toggle to automatically turn on the Bluetooth tomorrow. So for example, when you turn off the switch, the Bluetooth connection will be automatically turned on tomorrow in case you forgot to turn it on yourself. Under apps, when you go inside any of the third-party apps you have, like this one for example, you will notice here a difference between the two. The open button is now called archive and the open option is now at the top right corner. You can archive the app directly from here, and when you tap on restore, it will re-download the app automatically. On top of this, when you archive an app, you will see this icon on top of it, either inside the settings or when you go to your app menu, and when you tap on it, it will also restore the app automatically for you. Under apps and then special app access, you will see a brand new addition here called change media output that didn't exist before. Under the storage menu, you will also see some differences. The first one is the addition of the Files app icon, and then you will see slight differences in the categories. For example, here I have documents and other, while on Android 15, I have documents and the other separated. And we no longer have the system option, but when you scroll all the way down, you will see a separate section for the system files. Here you have Android 15 and the temporary system files. And when you tap on any of them, it will explain to you what's included under each one. Under sound and vibration and then vibration and haptics, you will see a brand new adaptive vibration feature that uses your phone mic and sensors to identify the vibration intensity. So for example, if you have it on the couch, it will increase the vibration strength, but if you have it on a solid surface, it will decrease it to make it less noisy. Moving to the display settings, now it's called display and touch, and when you go inside and then tap on the brightness level, you will see a narrower brightness slider. And also when you go to the screensaver option, Now you have the ability to use the home controls as your screensaver, and this is how it looks when it gets activated. We also got the new color contrast menu that we saw under the Wallpaper and the Style app. You can also access it under the Display and Touch menu. Under the Touch section, we got a brand new menu item called Touch Diagnostics. The last option will take you to the frequently asked questions and articles if you want to solve your issue. But if you have frequent unconditional touches, scrolling or swiping doesn't feel smooth, or the display is not very responsive to touch, when you go inside any of these options, you will get the ability to test your hardware. And when you tap on this button, it will do something totally unexpected. It will turn into a black screen for a while. It takes about a minute or two, and then come back to you with the result of the diagnostics. It says here recalibrating touch, and it says looks good. And if you want to restart your phone to solve the issue, it will tell you how you can do this. Now let's move on to the security and the privacy menu, and here you will see a lot of changes. The first one is in how things are organized. From the front page, you can access the privacy control, privacy dashboard, and the private space, which I'm going to talk about later, while previously we used to have only one menu item called the privacy, which includes the privacy controls under a section called controls. And if you want to access the privacy dashboard now on Android 15, it's located on the front page instead of showing under privacy. And then we have a brand new feature called private space. So let me show you how it works. This feature will allow you to hide or log private apps in a separate space. It will allow you to use a dedicated Google account for extra security, and then you will find some more information about how the feature works. But let's go through the setup wizard to show you exactly how it works. The first step is setting up your private space. It says here this will take a few moments, so let's wait for the next one. And then it will show you which type of data that will be encapsulated inside your private space, like synced photos, files, emails, contacts, calendar, events, and other data, app download history and recommendations, browsing history, bookmarks, and saved passwords, and lastly, suggested content related to your activity in private space. Then you need to tap on Got It. Here it will ask you if you want to sign in with your Google account, which is something you can skip, but anyways, you will need to sign in at the end of the day because it's required to download your apps inside the private space from Google Play Store. So let me sign into one of my accounts to continue the setup. Now I'm done signing into my other Google account, and you better choose a different one to avoid mixing your data between the normal space and the private space. And once you finish the signing in process, it will ask you if you want to use the same screen lock or choose a new one. If you decided to choose a new lock, it will first ask you for the current PIN code you have. And then it will ask you what kind of screen lock you want to use. You can use a pattern or and fingerprint, a PIN with fingerprint, password with fingerprint, or continue without fingerprint unlock. And in this case, you can choose pattern, PIN, and password. So I'm going to choose PIN and make something fairly easy. And once done, it will use this PIN code every time you try to unlock your private space. Now we are done with the setup process, and if you want to access your private space, you need to access the app drawer, scroll all the way down, and you will see the private space over here. Once you tap on it, it will ask you for the PIN, and then it will expand, showing you the essential apps already installed. And if you want to install a new one, you can tap on this button, which will take you to Google Play Store as if you are a new user. And here you can lock it back in by tapping on this button, but there are some settings that you can change to make it even more private. So when you tap on the gear button, it will take you to the private space page. Here you can adjust the automatic lock. You can do it every time device locks after 5 minutes or only after the device restarts. Then you have another menu for hiding the private space. And when you turn on the switch, even when you go to the app drawer, you will no longer see your private space. So let me lock it first, and it will completely disappear. And if you want to access your private space, in this case, you need to search for it like this. And that's the only way you can get access to it. And once done, it will reappear over here. Let's jump back to settings. And lastly, you can delete your private space if you want. So that's everything new under the security and the privacy. Now let's move to the next one, and you will notice here that passwords, passkeys, and autofill got renamed to passwords, passkeys, and accounts. And when you go inside, you will see some differences. The first one here is the gear icon got removed, and now you have something called change or open. Previously, to open, you need to tap on the Google account itself, but now you can tap on this button instead. And then you have the ability to change your autofill service by tapping on the change button instead of the gear icon like before. There is one minor change under notifications that I missed. When you go to notifications and then scroll down, you will see here that the device and the app notifications menu got renamed to notification, read, reply, and control, but both are exactly the same. Now let's move on to the last menu, which is system, to show you multiple changes. When you go to navigation mode, now we have a toggle to turn the circle to search gesture on or off. So if you have it off, when you tap and hold on the home bar, the feature will no longer work. And when you go to the reset options, now we have a new one for the private space, which will allow you to delete it directly from here. Now let's talk about the performance and battery. I didn't have enough time to test the battery, but I will keep you updated in my follow-up videos. But talking about the performance, I started to see some lag on my Pixel 9 Pro XL in certain cases. And the first one, when I connect the phone to an external display. So let me plug it to my portable display over here, mirror display. And I started to see a lot of lag when I connect the phone to an external display, so it doesn't look great. And it was much better than this in the previous versions. And the second one, when I try to set a wallpaper under the Wallpapers and the Style app, I'm not getting a great experience either. So here is one of the photos from my camera. And when I try to resize it, as you see, it lags quite a lot here. While on my Pixel 6 Pro, I'm using the same exact wallpaper and it doesn't lag that much in this screen. So I will give it more time and see what's gonna happen with the performance and battery and keep you updated. So that's pretty much it for today. Those are all the new features I wanted to show you on Android 15. Please let me know in the comments if I missed anything. But for now, thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video.